Just imagine, the Cleveland Browns are about to make a move that could completely change the dynamics of their offense. But is this really the answer they need? Or just another gamble in a series of desperate attempts to fix a struggling passing game? That's the big question today. And believe me, you'll want to stick with me until the end, because it could determine whether the Browns have any real chance of rebounding in 2025. But first, hit the like button to stay informed. The name on the table? Olamide Zaccheaus. Yes, that's right. The very same Zaccheaus who quietly put up 506 yards and 3 touchdowns for the Washington Commanders last season with an impressive 70.3% catch rate. Now, why does this matter for Cleveland? Because their wide receiver room, outside of Jeudy, is, let's be brutally honest here, borderline unwatchable. Cedric Tillman might have breakout potential, and Diontae Johnson could somehow rediscover his Pro Bowl form, but do you really want to bet the entire season on 2 what-ifs? No, you don't. And the Browns front office knows it too. The Chicago Bears, on the other hand, might have just the right piece to offer. After signing Zaccheaus in free agency and then drafting Luther Burden III, Chicago's receiving core is stacked with DJ Moore and Rome Odunze already holding down the top spots. That makes Zaccheaus, talented but redundant, very available. A day 3 pick. That's all it might take. Just think about it, Browns fans, a reliable pair of hands to replace Elijah Moore, who bolted in free agency, and a guy who has already proven he can deliver consistent production. It's not flashy, but in a season where Cleveland might even turn to a rookie quarterback, having someone who catches almost everything thrown his way suddenly sounds like gold. But let's pause for a second, because this isn't the only burning question for the Browns heading into 2025. Even if they get Zaccheaus, even if the trade happens tomorrow, there's still the elephant in the room, Jeudy. Is he really the WR1 Cleveland paid big money for? Cecil Shorts 3 doesn't think so, at least not yet. On 92.3 The Fan, he absolutely challenged Jeudy, saying, can he do it again? That's the tough part for Jerry. Can he be consistent with the catching? Can he be consistent making the big play? Shorts isn't wrong. Outside of that statement game against Denver, where Jeudy looked like Randy Moss reincarnated, his averages tell a much different story, barely hitting 60 yards a game. And here's the thing, Browns fans, consistency is what separates great receivers from guys who just show up every few games. The Browns gave him a massive contract extension before he even played a snap for them. If he doesn't deliver now, this could be one of the biggest overpays in recent team history. Meanwhile, the drama doesn't stop there because the quarterback room is already a soap opera. 5 quarterbacks on the roster, and one of the most talked about names is Shedeur Sanders. Remember, this was supposed to be a first-round talent, a top 10 pick, but he slipped all the way to the 5th round where the Browns scooped him up. And now, Fox Sports' Henry McKenna is already saying something that should make every Browns fan's blood boil. Even if Sanders wins the starting job and plays well, he might not even be part of Cleveland's long-term plans. Think about that for a second. McKenna is suggesting that the Browns could dump Sanders after just 1 year because the 2026 NFL Draft is expected to be loaded with quarterback talent: Arch Manning, Cade Klubnik, Drew Aller, Lonorris Sellers, Garrett Nussmeier, the list goes on. If Kevin Stefanski has another losing season and a new head coach takes over, Sanders might not even get the chance to prove himself. Imagine winning the starting job, surviving training camp battles with Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Dylan Gabriel, playing serviceable football, and still being replaced because the Browns want to chase another shiny new quarterback prospect. And while all of this is happening, let's not forget the players who came and went without making any noise. James Houston, for example, was one of those low-risk, high-reward signings late last season. The Browns claimed him off waivers in November. He played 3 games and didn't record a single tackle. Now he's getting a workout with the Dallas Cowboys, who are looking for pass-rushing insurance while dealing with Micah Parsons' contract situation. Funny how things work out, right? A guy who did nothing in Cleveland might end up getting another shot elsewhere, while the Browns continue to search for impact players. So here's the real question for all of you watching. Should the Browns pull the trigger on the Zaccheaus trade, or is it just a band-aid on a much bigger problem? And more importantly, do you honestly believe Jeudy is ready to step up and be the WR1 this team needs? Or did Cleveland make a huge mistake giving him that extension before he even proved himself in orange and brown? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And we can't stop there, because the quarterback situation, yes, we have to come back to it, is a ticking time bomb that could define not just this season, but the Browns' future for years. Shedeur Sanders is the name on everyone's lips, but let's be real here. What exactly does he need to do to actually secure his spot? McKenna made it crystal clear Sanders has to shatter expectations, and that might still not be enough. Just picture this. Sanders somehow beats out veterans like Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and even fellow rookie Dylan Gabriel during training camp. He takes the starting job, plays solid football all season, and keeps the Browns competitive, and yet, by next offseason, the franchise could still be ready to move on from him because of a shiny new quarterback class in 2026. That's the nightmare scenario, right? You finally find a guy who can manage the offense, and just when it seems like things are stabilizing, the front office hits the reset button again. And don't forget, this could all depend on whether Kevin Stefanski even keeps his job. Another losing season, and a new head coach will almost certainly want his own quarterback. That's just how the NFL works. Sanders could be fighting not only his opponents but also the clock, because every single snap he takes in 2025 might be part of an audition, not just for Cleveland, but for the entire league if he ends up having to move elsewhere. Meanwhile, if we circle back to the wide receiver situation, you start to see how interconnected all of this is. If the Browns do swing that trade for Olamide Zaccheaus, it won't just be about adding depth. It could be about giving Sanders, or whoever ends up under center, a reliable safety net. Think about it, Zaccheaus doesn't have to be a superstar. He just has to be dependable, the kind of guy who bails out a young quarterback with sure hands when everything else collapses. And in an offense where Jeudy is under the microscope every single week, that kind of consistency could be the difference between keeping drives alive or stalling out over and over again. So, Browns fans, let me throw it back to you again. If you were Andrew Berry right now, what would you prioritize? Do you take the risk on Zaccheaus and give your quarterback, whoever he is, another target he can trust? Or do you hold onto that draft pick and bet that Jeudy will finally live up to his WR1 billing, Cedric Tillman breaks out, and Deontay Johnson finds his old form? And when it comes to Sanders, do you believe he's the future, or do you think the Browns should already be eyeing those 2026 prospects? Drop a comment right now because this is the kind of debate that could split the fan base. Should Cleveland double down on what it has or keep preparing to blow it all up if 2025 goes south? I want to hear your take, so let's talk about it right now. Who's the real answer for the Browns, and who's just a placeholder until the next big move? Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to the channel. Go Browns!